What's up, y'all? Welcome to After Effects. This is your co-host, Mrs. Sutton, here with CJ himself. And we gonna kick it off like this for you guys. Rekindling the fire. Mr. Sutton, what does that mean to you?
I understand that we need to take your phone and throw it out the window. But no, on all serious, rekindling the fire. Everyone is going to go through I don't want to call it a dark spell, but a little spout where that you guys may or may not be clicking.
So, may or may not be clicking. What does that mean?
Okay, for instance, she may say something to you, or you may say something stupid to her. Either way, y'all mad at each other, or in your feelings, as they call it.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. When all else fails, I want to believe that a nice amount of people get married for love. But I also feel that the divorce rates are as high as they are because people weren't taught how to work things out. Now, certain things for me, I don't think I can look past. As far
Such as?
For me, it would be cheating. Now, kudos to those who can forgive, move on, go past that. My thing is, for me, is not just the cheating aspect. For me, it's in doing so, you connected in a way that you're only supposed to connect with me, with another person. You gave a part of you to another person. And not only just that, the soul tie. Now you are tied to someone else that is not your spouse. And because of that, now I have to deal with the mistake that was made, not just the emotional turmoil behind it. I also have to deal with the soul tie that you created with another individual. And if I allow myself to sleep with you again, then I have to be concerned with my behavior, my mechanisms, because now you're imparting back into me what somebody else gave to you. And that's mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. On top of, you're putting my life in danger.
Well, let's talk about it. Cheating. And there's going to be people in our family that's probably going to hate me and never speak to me again. But I wouldn't be who I am if I sugarcoat anything. Rule number 1. People cheat because they want to cheat.
I agree.
Number 2. Everybody talking about blaming it on the alcohol is a lie. Blame it on emotional distress is a lie. Blame it on losing a family member or something bad happening to you in your life is a lie. You cheat because you want to. There's going to be probably a few scholars out there that's going to say, well, how do you know? You can't prove that. Actually, I can. Case in point. Me and you, for about a year and a half, wasn't feeling each other.
Facts.
At all. You didn't trust me, and I ain't really give a flying flabbergasted about your feelings.
That's true.
And at the time, I was working in a group home. Pay close attention. And I need for every man to pay attention to what I'm about to say. There were a lot of female co-workers that I work with that were shapely, and some of them showed up with some stuff that you can deem as revealing.
Okay.
Because me and you wasn't feeling each other, I didn't try to talk to them. I didn't proceed after them to release some kind of demonic justification structure that I'm going to convince myself into doing.
Facts.
Because what people don't understand about cheating, you lose more than you gain.
Facts.
Let me reiterate. You lose more than you gain.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's think about it. When you said I do, the vows for your marriage was to have and to hold. To death do you apart, through sickness and in health. And all that mushy gushy stuff.
I can't with you right now.
You know I don't bite my tongue. When I said I do to you, you came with everything that I got on God's last nerve for.
So did you.
I asked for a loving grandmother who's very much special, but I'll talk about that at a different date. You gave me nieces, all of them pretty, and I'd kill anybody about all of them. I'm even a great uncle.
Brother.
I got nephews. I lost count, but I got a lot of them. They for the streets. Don't even try to come this way. Just leave that alone. I got a brother who calls me every now and then. But, you know, when he do call, I got to make sure I go down the list of sins, make sure I ain't committed any. I got a sister that truthfully belongs in a straitjacket. But I love her.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't change none of that for the world.
Her pookie bookie.
Really? You know what? Just whatever. What's worth losing the respect respect that I've earned in all of their eyesight. A couple of minutes. I'm not a couple of minute dude, but still, a couple of minutes for someone that ain't gonna remember my name within the next 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
For someone that is probably doing the same thing to somebody they with that I'm doing to somebody that I'm with.
Big facts.
Not to mention, you got people walking around here with full-blown AIDS and knowing it for a fact and just giving it to people. I mean, you can call me a conspiracy theorist. However, everybody done seen them YouTube videos where people are sleeping with animals now. And I'm a pretty clean guy. But I don't want to be sleeping with you and wake up with some monkeypox, chicken pox, or any other pox because you done went home and because you had one too many bottles of wine, your dog was looking fascinating to you. And you decided that you wanted to have a quick crow pro with your dog.
I cannot with you, Mr. Sutton. But what you're saying is factual.
I mean, it don't even have to be a dog. It could be your horse.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, I just recently found out people are doing things with cats now.
Me more.
Trees have turned up to be fascinating to people.
My love.
I don't want to walk up with a leaf stuck up my butt because you done went out and your tree was looking good to you and you decided to come back and give me what's the name of that doggone stuff? Poison ivy. You know, that don't work for me.
But the bottom line is you're special. You're just special. But the bottom line,
I'll give you some time to get yourself. But how you don't let the fire run out? I said this to our niece the other day, and she listened because she had them kind of questions. She wanted to know what real love was. I told you, while we was beefing or whatever it was we was, and the love looked like it had died out. Because I knew for a fact that wasn't nobody crazy enough to deal with me but you. No, it takes a special kind of person to deal with me. You were created to deal with me because I'm special. So what I did was, and I can do this, to rekindle that fire, I sat on top of the dryer, which is right in front of the bathroom, and watch you take a shower on a daily basis.
Well, I'm glad you said daily.
Listen, that's another thing. A lot of people don't know how to wash their tail, and I don't want them wake up and smelling like fishy nookie or BM or left out day old tuna fish. But we gonna leave that alone, or a skunk. But I'll get to that in a minute.
Okay, now.
But I watch you take a shower, and I watch you do a lot of stuff. And in the process of while we weren't clicking, we wasn't even boning at this point. I remember of everything that you have done for me up until this point. I remember how people tried to talk you out of marrying me. That reminded me. I remembered how you had enough trust in me to work a lot of hours so that you can go to school and concentrate on getting your college degree. I remembered how you had enough trust in me to stand up for me and protect me against them so-called family members of mine that was trying to talk you out of marrying me because I wasn't making the money they thought that I should have been making. I remembered when I was laid up in the hospital for 8 days and how you was sick yourself and how you was running back and forth between taking care of my grandmother and me to make sure we was okay and fighting for me and praying for me as well, saying, come home. And I remembered how when I came home from the hospital, I was on the oxygen tank. I couldn't walk. I could hardly talk. How you bathed me. How you helped me to the bathroom. How you helped me start eating again. Then, one day, you got out the shower and found yourself in the impromptu position.
Okay, now. But honestly, that's the point. I mean, my husband is a little bit more explicit, but the thing,
you know who you married. I don't bite my tongue.
I know. But the thing is, always remember why you fell in love in the first place. I never understood the saying of I fell out of love with someone. That? I don't know, because my thing is, I don't truly believe that you fall out of love with a person. I believe you can fall out of like with a person. But love is something that never supposed to change. So if you're saying that I fell out of love or I no longer love, then my question is, did you ever love? And it's because love is supposed to be consistent. I can say I even love my enemies. I love family members I don't talk to on a daily basis. I love people in general because that's just who I am. I could never tell a person I don't love you anymore. So when you say, oh, I'm out of love, how did you run out of something that's supposed to be everlasting?
Let me answer that. Something that's everlasting. Falling out of love is really more about saying, you hurt me. Mm-hmm. You hurt me, and because I don't know how to express what I feel or how I'm feeling, I need to say something that equates or equals the fact to hurt you just as much. Because men in general, when we get hurt, we shut down.
Yes, it's very difficult.
When we get hurt, we shut down so doggone far that nothing works.
And that's the whole thing. The whole thing in a nutshell is, I don't believe that you can fall out of love with a person. I believe that conversations were not had. Expectations were not set. And a person is going to continue to do what you allow.
Say that again for the people in the back.
A person is going to continue to do what you allow. So I'll go as far as saying you accept what you are. And that is what people miss. You can't say, well, my self-worth is here, there, and I'm not going to accept this, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. But in the same breath, you're giving passes. For me, I had to learn that lesson the hard way because I do get emotionally attached. Because when I love hard, my blinders were on to a lot. And that was friends, that was acquaintances, associates, everything. My blinders were on. And because my blinders were on, because all I wanted to do was love. And I didn't see how I was being manipulated in situations or taken advantage of in situations. And when the blinders were lifted and I really did soul searching, I really found out that I was exhibiting behaviors or giving off a aroma to people that I was okay with being used. And I didn't even realize that I was giving off this energy that said, oh, I'm a target. And it wasn't until I was taught that I needed to protect my peace. So now my stance is anything that threatens my peace of mind has to go. It doesn't mean I don't love you. It means that my mental psyche is worth more than your chaos. And if you're trying to bring chaos to my table, me and you can't sit down and dine because I'm not going to eat your poison. Mm-hmm. When it came down to you, there were many things I had to understand. And what I had to understand was you were hurt. You were damaged. You did have a lot going on psychologically that I didn't understand. And for the longest, I thought I was the medication you needed. And I tried to fix everything, not realizing that I'm trying to fix you, but breaking me. I had to learn to do the hardest thing that it is for me to do, which is to take my hands off of a situation. I had to learn to pray. I had to stop complaining to you about what I needed. I had to allow you, as hurtful as it was, to hit your head in certain spots. I had to allow you to feel certain things. And I had to learn that I could not always be that shield, but I could always be that comfort. Those are two totally different things. I can't shield you from everything as much as I want to, but I can be your comfort because that's what I'm supposed to be. So once I learned to put everything in God's hands and get out the way, I found myself back in peace. And it would be you trying to figure out, well, what's going on? Why is this going on? Or why is this happening? And the hardest thing for me to do, if you really know me, is to shut my mouth. And I had to get to a point where I had to stop talking because I got tired of saying the same thing over and over and over. So I quit talking. But you got to a point where I remember you telling me this. You was like, I never want you to go silent on me again. You said
that was creepy.
Because you said when you go silent, I don't know what you thinking. I don't know where you are. And that frightens me. And I had to tell you, don't be frightened in my silence. Because I'm very readable. But you were able to come to your own realization as into what needed to be done to put this marriage back on track on your part. In the same token, I had to take ownership for my part. Because I hate when people try to place the blame on one person. No,
I never understood that.
It's an equal footing. I had to learn, and I'll just be honest, I was a nagger. Very nitpicky. And I had to work through having controlling mechanisms. I had to step back and realize I married you because one, God told me to, but two, your strength is amazing. And you're strong enough to stand on the 2 feet that God gave you. So I don't always have to be the loudmouth saying everything that comes across my brain. Everything that comes across your brain don't need to come out your mouth. So I had to learn that in my protection of you, I was hurting you in the process. Because in your mind, oh, she don't think I can do anything for her. Or she don't think that I can protect her. Or she don't think that I can speak up for myself. And I never wanted you to feel like that. But I had to take ownership that that's how I was acting. I was being domineering. And I wasn't allowing you to learn your way through this new phase in both of our lives, because neither one of us have ever been married before. So, and unfortunately, we have not seen what a proper marriage, a godly marriage, should look like until we became attached to our apostles.
Yeah.
Then we were able to see what a God-fearing, loving marriage looks like. But beforehand, we didn't see that. So now we have the example and the bar's been set. And my personal thoughts of that is I can't fall below that. So I had to apologize for my behavior that was pushing you away.
You know what? It really wasn't so much of your behavior. It was more of when you take someone that has been in a traumatic lifestyle and they have been there for years and years. And then you put them in normalcy. Believe it or not, that looks crazy to them. They don't understand it. It's weird. It's barbaric. It's baffling. Like I said, I'll never forget my first introduction into the family. You showed something I've never seen before. It wasn't nobody fighting. Wasn't nobody acting crazy. It wasn't toxic. It was real love. And it was amazing. I was a little standoffish because it was weird. Crazy. But as I grew and I saw how everyone interacted, they welcomed me with open arms. Like I had been here for 2 million years.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful thing. That's why I can say without certain. Of course, it's gonna be you all ain't been married nothing but 3 years. You don't tell me that when you get 20 and 25. When I get 100 years in this thing, I'm gonna say the same thing. People cheat because they want to. There's no way humanly possible I can get on a public platform and say that I'm tired, I want a divorce from my wife because I'm tired of having sex with her the same way.
Man, that was baffling to me.
You can't pay me to say it because one, that would be a lie. Two, we don't do things the same way.
Okay, now, Mr. Sutton.
Three, I ain't pretty sure we're both satisfied.
Facts. But
again, you can't pay me enough to say she's not taking care of me. Because you do.
And you take very good care of me?
That's what a marriage is.
A partnership.
It's a partnership.
But I believe that marriage have breakdowns because the gender roles get thrown around.
I'm so sick. You know what? I'm about to put this to death now.
But
I'm about to crucify it.
And it's insane because
you know what?
I'm not gonna lie. When I first came into the marriage, I had that mentality as well.
I know, and I'm about to kill that right now. And I have said this before on another podcast.
Because I remember coming straight off our honeymoon, washing your clothes. And
I'm getting ready to get into that right now. Number one, if you read the Bible, everything that the woman does for the man is to do for the woman. Matter of fact, our role is greater.
Mm-hmm.
It's an A and B clause. If she fixes, let me back up because I'm getting ahead of myself because this topic makes me angry. If she is at work and I got the day off, then when she comes home, she should have dinner prepared. The house should be clean. Just as she does for me. I'll never forget, and this still tickles me to this day. I was off this particular day.
Oh, Lord.
When we first got married, you went to work, and you was like, don't worry about nothing. I'll take care of everything when I get home. When she came home, she was in total shock. The clothes was washed. The house was clean. And the dishes was put up. She ain't had nothing to do but come in, take her shower, and get ready for dinner. Because anything that I asked of her, I should be willing to do for her. If she can do it for me, I should be willing to do it for her.
Oh, I mean, that was the thing, like...
Until the one day she got mad at me for cleaning the house too well.
No, you want to tell the truth on this episode today. He has asthma, you guys, and he thought it was a good idea to be a chemist and mix a bunch of chemicals together. And I come home to my lovely husband sitting on the front stairs with the whole neighborhood smelling like bleach and ammonia and Pine Sol. So chemicals have been banned from my house because I want my husband to be around for a long time. Yeah. So, but that was the whole thing. It's like I came into the marriage with the already prepared to cook, clean, do the laundry, make sure his stuff was together for work. I was already prepared for that. So when he looked at me like this was strange, I'm like, what is what I'm supposed to do? And I would never forget his responses. Don't tell me that. I'm like, oh boy. But it's been a partnership. He has an addiction to doing laundry, so I'm
not addicted to doing laundry. Yes. I just do.
He's addicted to doing laundry.
Whatever.
So that's what he does. I don't have a problem with it. I had one issue with him doing my laundry when he shrunk all my uniforms, but
you ain't gonna let that go, are you?
No, because I told you don't put scrubs in the dryer.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, but it's amazing. It's amazing having a husband who's actually a decent cook. I have no issues. We can get together, clean up, do what needs to be done. And honestly, what a lot of people don't realize is when you work together like that, you also have more time for each other.
Yes, baby.
Versus putting everything on one person and then getting upset when your nighttime is compromised by snoring and drool because that person is exhausted.
I mean, take you to a place nice and quiet.
I'm not with you.
In the ain't gotta rush. I just wanna take it nice and slow.
Usher, are you done? But I just feel like the partnership is what makes the marriage amazing, and it allows me to know that as we go down the journey of children, all the responsibility of parenting won't fall on me either.
That's something else that irks me. And I hear so many women talk about this. If I slept with you and impregnate you, why is it 100% your job to take care of the kid?
Because many men do not like getting up in the middle of the night
to take care of something that you helped get here.
And there are many men who do not like changing diapers.
Okay, well, tell you what. If you don't like changing diapers and you don't want to take care of no kid, stop having sex.
I would agree, but that's just what it's been for many generations. That's always
just stupid.
It's always falling on the female. It's the female who gets up every 2 hours to take the feed, change, burp. It's normally the female that's half asleep with the baby, rocking it while the man is in the bed, knocked out.
Well, since you don't like to be up at night and I'm the early bird, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be right in there and be like, what's happening? We'll be singing songs. Listen to put a little jazz and classical music on or rain sounds and they'd be out like a jackrabbit.
But, I mean, that's just the thing. I mean, our Our few years together has taught us so much.
Also taught us how stupid a lot of people is too.
Well, baby, I keep trying to tell you there's no real definition to the word normal. I don't know why you don't listen.
I get that, but again, back to the topic of the subject.
But you asked how to rekindle the fire.
You don't let it get.
The point is,
even if it goes out, dude, you gotta, lady, man, think about it. Think about what the sacrifices you each other made. So you telling me you willing to let all the sacrifices you guys made to go down the toilet? No. I forget who said it, but I'm not about to build up a foundation in a house with someone just to let somebody else come and live in the house on what I built.
But see, that's the whole thing too. One of the things that I said to you was I was not looking for a already built foundation.
That's not what I was talking about.
No. I was looking for someone that I can build with. When you put in the work together, you value it more.
That's what I stated.
And that's the whole thing. We can say, thank you, Lord, because we've built together, we've lost together,
a whole lot.
We've made mistakes together.
Yes, we did.
We've learned from those mistakes together.
We cried.
We have had to walk in Uber together. But the thing is, it's what has driven us to where we are, that we appreciate things a lot better. And we also understand that we lost what we tried to use to prove a point.
And trying to prove a point. Let me say this. For all you up and coming lovers, whether you are already married or in a relationship, do not let somebody else's dictatorship and or values destroy the relationship that you're building. Because if you give a lot of people keys to your house and then stuff started missing, you have no right to say what happened, because you don't know who took it.
And that's facts. But needless to say, I love this big head that I can't seem to get to sit up. But I had to learn. I had to grow. And I love where I am. And I am definitely looking forward to what God does in the future.
Oh, I know I am. I do want to pose this question to you, Miss Sutton. For the women out there that feels like the attention is on everything but them, and that they have the right to go out and enjoy themselves for a night. What do you speak about that?
Well, number one, always remember that revenge cheating, it never works well, especially for a female, because that'll be the very moment that you create an unexpected life. Number two, remember women are emotional, and many men cheat just for the thrill. Women cheat because they're looking for an emotional connection. I don't understand how you could be in love with more than one person at a time. But I also know that sex is confused with love and emotion quite easily. So my advice would be, don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth the headache. I couldn't even imagine. I just couldn't imagine. When you truly are in love, nothing else is going to matter. Those thoughts are not even going to cross your mind. One thing I say is I have integrity. And my integrity is what you do when nobody else is looking. And at the end of the day, you have to live with that. I know I can't. Can you?
And for me, don't put yourself in a position to be sucked in by the schemes of the enemy, because, and I'm sick and tired of hearing this excuse, it was a mistake. It was an accident. You didn't accidentally slip in between the sheets and in somebody's legs. You didn't mistakenly slip and get into somebody's sheets and in between their legs. You did that because you wanted to. And all the other stuff was just a way for you to be able to use as an excuse. Oh, I was too drunk. I was emotionally hurt. I was scarred. Well, they did it to me, so I thought I would do it back to them. That never works. It never works out. So, as much as I would love to say justification, there is no such thing. No rhyme and reason. Stop justifying your lies and accept the truth. If you don't want to be with that person no more, break up with them or divorce them and go do you.
Yep. Because it's better to explain a situation when you're by yourself than it is to break up a whole household because you wanted to do what you wanted to do. And I can truly say that rekindling a fire, it takes work, but marriage is work. But it's such a job that's worth it. Just like you go to work and receive a reward, your marriage is the same way. You get out what you put in.
That's for sure. So, on that note, again, rekindling the fire. Don't let it burn out. If you cannot see any way to reconcile, or you have irreconcilable differences, then go your separate ways. Because cheating is not beneficial. Lives are at stake. Pain and hurt and hearts are at stake. You don't need that. I'm Mr. Sutton.
And I'm Mrs. Sutton.
Rekindle the fire for the late night talk. I holla. After Effects.